Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Meetinghouse of Provincetown, where we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person and where we support each other in our spiritual search for truth and meaning. Welcome to those of you in the room, and welcome to those of you joining us on our live stream from home. My name is Bruce de Sainte Croix, and I am your worship host this morning. Thank you for joining us for our Blue Holidays service. Our minister, Reverend Kate Wilkinson, is out with the flu this week. She thanks you for all the well wishes, promises to get back to your emails eventually, and encourages everyone to get their flu shot. This morning we will be reading one of Reverend Kate's sermons from 2019. Before we begin our worship service, I have just a few announcements to share. Thank you so much to all of you who attended our annual meeting last week. We passed our 2023 budget, heard from all of our committees, and welcomed a new board member. We also really appreciate your thoughtful discussion of our COVID protocols. Next Sunday, December 18th, we will be celebrating Hanukkah during our service. Our guest speaker that day will be Maria Silverman. We are reviving our winter solstice ritual and celebration on Wednesday, December 21st at 5 p.m. There will be candle lighting and storytelling and music and even a special Abbott's Bromley horn dance that dates back to the Middle Ages. On Christmas Eve, we will have our candlelight Christmas Eve service at 7 p.m. All are welcome. And then on Christmas Day, we will be having a really fun lessons and cards service, followed by a potluck brunch downstairs. There is a sign-up sheet on the welcome table if you will be here for the Christmas brunch and would like to contribute something. If you know anyone who might be spending Christmas alone, please invite them to our service and brunch. We hope that those in the room will join us for coffee out on the lawn after service today. And all are welcome at our Zoom coffee hour Tuesday evening at 5 p.m. Let us know if you need that link. Let's take a moment now to affirm our Meetinghouse covenant. I will say a line, and then you say it back to me. Love is the spirit of this Meetinghouse. This is our great covenant. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now, as we light our chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you joining us from home to light a candle wherever you are. In this way, we can feel connected even while we are apart. I invite Jane to come and light the chalice. Chalice Lighting by Cynthia Landrum. In the bleak and cold winter, we gather ourselves in to light the fire, to warm our spirits, to kindle the flame of love and hope. We also continue with lighting our Advent candles. We relight the first candle of Advent to call upon hope. We relight the second Advent candle to call upon peace. We light this third Advent candle to call upon joy. May the joys of this season be made manifest in each life. May we remember that joy may be found in the smallest of things: a smile shared, a hand held, a candle lit during these short, dark days. And may we help each other to rekindle the flame of joy each time it goes out.
Please join me now in a time of meditation and prayer. As I share our meditation, or at any time during the service, you're welcome to light a candle at the table to the right of the pulpit, where there's a journal to record your prayers. After our meditation, we will sing together with masks on, Spirit of Life, hymn number 123. You can also find the words printed on the purple laminated sheet in your pews. Our meditation this morning is by Cynthia Fredo. Psalm for the Wintered Soul. To the weaver of molecules, the spinner of stars, the impulse that gives birth to the universe, to the earth, to me. In the deepest, darkest night of my wintered soul, I wrap myself in the blanket of my sadness and grief, pain and suffering, doubts and concerns, fears and questions, and look out from my wondering eyes toward the light that dares to penetrate the layers of blindness that surround me. So obscured in my vision because of the trials and tribulations of this life, that it is your fractal rays of possibility and hope that I seek to inspire me, to emerge from this cocoon that holds me. Each luminescent ray of love and hope and possibility is that catalyst which I need to transform my thoughts and emotions into fuel for that inner fire, which will dispel the darkness of my night, which will help me to see more clearly the embers of love and hope and possibility that dwell within me. I long to be filled with renewed energy and strength to thrust new life into these wings of my rebirth, the fragile fragments of my life, the ingredients in the alchemist's hand, creating a new energetic substance to course through my veins. This womb of my becoming has been one of struggle and transformation. I was never meant to remain in this confinement of darkness. I was created to dwell in the infinite light, To the weaver of molecules, the spinner of stars, the impulse that gives birth to the universe, to the earth, to me. In the deepest, darkest night of my wintered soul, I shall look through the window of my expectant eyes toward the source of my being, waiting as I do for your alchemist's hand to create within me the change that is necessary for the season of my rebirth. I was never meant to remain in this confinement of darkness. I was created to dwell in the infinite light. Spring will come again, this I know, and I will be ready for my emergence and unfolding, that I might soar ever higher into my own becoming, into the light of my own transcendence, reawakened, renewed, reborn. Amen, and blessed be.
Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sopla volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arréglame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí.
Heavy by Mary Oliver. That time I thought I could not go any closer to grief without dying. I went closer, and I did not die. Surely God had his hand in this, as well as friends. Still, I was bent, and my laughter, as the poet said, was nowhere to be found. Then said my friend Daniel, brave even among lions, it's not the weight you carry, but how you carry it. Books, bricks, grief, it's all in the way you embrace it, balance it, carry it, when you cannot and would not put it down. So I went on practicing. Have you noticed? Have you heard the laughter that comes now and again out of my startled mouth? How I linger to admire, admire, admire the things of this world that are kind and maybe also troubled. Roses in the wind, the sea geese on the steep waves, a love to which there is no reply. Now is the time when we take a collection for the ongoing support of this meeting house and our shared ministry. As we enjoy a musical reflection by our choir, we welcome your donations here in the sanctuary or online through PayPal or Venmo. You can find that information on our website, uumh.org. On and off-site, your offerings will be gratefully received.
We'll be singing hymn 1045 in this book if you'd like to follow along. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. If you cannot preach like Peter, or you cannot pray like Paul, you can tell the love of Jesus that saved a weary soul. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Sometimes I feel discouraged and think my work's in vain, but then the Holy Spirit
Thank you, dear choir. Before I read Rev Kate's sermon, will you join me in sending her healing energy for a full recovery? We can do this together by simply raising hands, and I'm shooting it right out through the live stream to our dear Rev Kate. This Blue Holidays sermon was first given in 2019. Someone posted something on Facebook the other day that I loved. The post said, "One door closes, another opens. One door closes, another opens. One door closes, another opens." And then it said, "Me eating through a chocolate advent calendar." In a recent New York Times piece entitled, "Yes, It's Okay to Be Sad During the Holidays," columnist Marissa Miller wrote, "All I want for Christmas is a nap." Yes, there are those who have the patience and willpower to eat one piece of chocolate a day, to leave the others nestled behind their perforated little doors, and I'm sure there is deep satisfaction in that. But for others of us, this is the season for eating through chocolate advent calendars at one sitting, and for longing not for gifts or connection or merriment, but simply for a nap. Yes, there are those who have perfect holiday outfits picked out and washed and pressed, ready for their debut at a string of holiday parties. And for others of us, there are fleece pants with our names on them and an impression on the body of the couch where we will be spending most evenings from now until New Year's. Yes, there are those who get along perfectly with their extended families of origin and who delight in getting together in this most wonderful time of the year. And for others of us, family time is a struggle, fraught with complexities, or sometimes even not an option. Some of us are estranged from our families. Some of us are missing family members who have died or who are no longer themselves. All of you, no matter what category you fall into, are welcome here today at this Blue Holidays sermon. Last week, I watched a great holiday Netflix series called Happy, Merry, Whatever. It's a wonderful family comedy centered around the holiday season in the Quinn family. Now, the Quinn family is a loving and close-knit family, but it's also a family with a lot of rules, expectations, and secrets. No one is able to be totally themselves because they're so busy trying to be the best version of themselves, so as not to lose favor with the family, and particularly with the dad. The in-laws have an especially hard time living into this picture-perfect family scenario where there doesn't seem to be room for them. Especially around the holidays, everyone's expected to be happy and merry and participate in all the old traditions like tree decorating and caroling and puzzle doing and cookie baking and making quintentions, which is basically a New Year's resolution with the name Quinn attached to it. But as they go through these motions, each of them is harboring a silent heartbreak that they aren't sharing with the family. And because the feelings are so repressed, no one's really enjoying all the old traditions at all. Tensions are coming out sideways. Reactions are strong to things that don't really matter at all, but which are a much more acceptable way to get upset about than the real problems they are living with. For the eldest daughter, who is struggling with infertility, the fixation for her grief and fear and sense of not being in control comes to a head when she finds that the puzzle that they have been doing for days and days is missing one piece. She freaks out, searches for the missing piece on hands and knees, interrogates the family about their complicity in this tragedy. She cannot find any piece while this puzzle remains incomplete. And of course, it's not really about the puzzle, is it? But that's how our grief and fear and anger and doubt get revealed sometimes, in our outsized reactions to what normally wouldn't really bother us at all. Our emotions can only stay bottled up inside for so long. And so this season can be a rough one, because no one wants to talk about or listen to the hard things at this time of year. They just want to be happy, merry, whatever. They don't want to be sad. But the truth is, December is not exempt from sadness. There are no blackout days for grief, depression, loss, illness, breakups, misunderstandings, financial worry. There are no holidays from struggle. So while it's sometimes good to let ourselves be distracted by the holiday season, give ourselves a break from worry, to find the joy in gift giving or receiving, or the pretty lights, or the holiday parties, I think it's important to also acknowledge the full scope of what we're feeling this month. To not bottle up all the less desirable emotions of our inner landscape. If we make some room to be gentle with ourselves, to set some limits, to have realistic expectations about this season and our participation in it, we might just be able to get through to the new year, 2023. How did that happen? So to give us all a little help with getting through to 2023, here is my 2022 Holiday Survival Guide. This advice was compiled from Sarah Scherer's article, Advice for Grinches, How to Avoid the Holiday Funk, and Kristen Meekoff's 5 Ways to Deal with Grief in the Holiday Season, and other advice that I've been given over the years that seemed helpful to share at this time. There are 8 tips total. Here's the first one. Tip 1, protect your energy. Your energy is your currency. And if you think about your emotional energy like a cell phone battery, you realize that there are limits to it. Certain situations and people can drain your emotional battery, leaving you with little energy left for other things. During this season especially, it's important to be aware of who and what depletes you, depletes your resources, and demands more from you than you are able to give. It's important to plan times to recharge your emotional battery by doing things that bring you energy instead of using it up. Tip 2, use your opt-out pass. I hereby bequeath to anyone experiencing bereavement or depression this time of year an all-access opt-out pass that can be used anytime, anywhere, with anyone. So if you find yourself wanting to decline an invitation, even if you've already said yes, go ahead and use your pass. This works even if you're on the doorstep of the event you were planning to go to, even if you're already at the event and realize it was a big mistake attending it. Marty and I just used our pass the other day, and our hosts were very gracious and forgiving. If anyone gives you problems around this, please tell them to come see me. Tip number 3, take deep breaths. By taking big, slow, deep inhale and deep exhale, we can calm our body's response to stress. You can use the 5-finger method. Slow inhale, slow exhale, slow inhale, slow exhale. You don't have to be a daily meditator to have access to this tool. Just remember to breathe. It helps. Tip number 4, practice gratitude. Research indicates that a daily or weekly gratitude practice enhances our well-being, even if it's only to take a minute, even if we're skeptical about it. At the end of the day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Instead of broad responses like my health, my family, try looking at something specific in the day. It can be as small as the way a tree's shadow lays across the lawn. It can be just that small. Tip number 5, practice generosity. While it is said that it is better to give than to receive, you might not always feel that around the holidays. The added expenses, packed stores, overall stress that comes with holiday gift giving might make you feel like giving's not the best to get out of your Grinchness. But remember, you can be generous in other ways, with your time, your smile, and your listening ear. If you do have extra funds, you can support nonprofits or a friend in need. Trust me, you won't regret it. Tip number 6. I love this. Pretend you're making a documentary. If your family or even your friends are making things extra difficult for you at the holiday gathering, and if you're at the risk of having all your buttons pushed at once, get some distance by pretending that you're making a documentary of the event. Your imaginary camera gives you just enough distance to notice that what's going on without being totally hooked by it. Oh, look, Uncle Norman's at the punch bowl again. It seems like Janet is deploying her passive-aggressive skills. And okay, it's now been a total of 6 times that I've been asked if there's anyone special in my life these days. I think I'll put all those clips together in an epic video montage. The other day, my friend texted me and included the initials FOMO. FOMO. I'm not hip enough to know what FOMO means, so I texted her back, what does FOMO mean? Fear of missing out. She texted back, FOMO, fear of missing out. I guess this was always a thing, but it's even worse now that we can see that our friends and family members, what they're up to online all the time. So this is my second to last pearl of wisdom to offer you this holiday season. Tip number 7. minimize social consumption, social media consumption. If you're regularly / obsessively checking your Facebook feed, trying to bring awareness to how it's making you feel. Do you notice sadness or uneasiness or tightness? Is your mind comparing your life to the lives of all the other people online? Since most of the people only highlight their best moments on social media, you're most likely not getting the full picture of someone's life. Comparing your normal, flawed life to one that appears as perfect is a recipe for sadness. Forget what other people are doing. Chances are they aren't having the best holiday either, no matter what their Instagram pictures make it look like. Try putting your phone down more often and staying off social media. Notice if your feelings shift. And to tell you the truth, I don't even know what to tell you about all the things that you receive in the mail, the picture-perfect holiday photo cards. I mean, I'm glad to get them, and I know it's an emotional response to them. And how is it that my emotional response to them is a surprise to me every single year? I guess all I can say is maybe don't open them while you're sad. So finally, here's tip number 8. Seek professional help. Don't shy away from scheduling an appointment with a licensed professional, a therapist, a life coach. It may be helpful to schedule the time either before or after a specific event so you can express any feelings that came up from it. Professionals are one of our best resources for navigating a difficult season. So I hope you find some of these tips helpful, and I will also hope that you'll share your tips with me and with each other. We all have more wisdom to offer each other than be of good cheer. If you're missing someone, I hope you'll tell me about them. And if you need to skip out on some things, we'll understand. And please cry when you need to. We have space for that here, in whatever we do. As my colleague Carl Gregg says, our choices shouldn't be limited to either celebrating a Hallmark holiday or not celebrating the holidays at all. We have the freedom to find meaningful and authentic ways of marking our holidays with rituals that honor the realities of our actual life. So as my colleague Erica Hewitt says, form a plan for the coming weeks so that on the other side of this winter, you can look back and say, here's how I made it gentler on myself. And here's where I remembered that love will show itself again and again. I'd like to close with a poem by Rachel Barenblatt, also known as The Velveteen Rabbit. It's called The Longest Night. We all tell ourselves stories about grief to come. Anticipating the dark, we think, how can I live without the sun I turn toward? We wrest what gifts we can from the dying days. One morning we wake, and the doorway we most dreaded is behind us. The ice may not recede for months to come, but day by day, may there be more light. I wish you a peaceful holiday season, and day by day, may there be more light. May it be so, and blessed be. It has become our practice to pose a question based on the service each week. It can be a topic of sharing out on the lawn today, or with friends during the week. If you want to delve deeper into this conversation, we hope you can join us Tuesday at 5 at our Zoom coffee hour. Our question this week is, what's one tip you have for getting through the holidays when you're feeling blue? What's one tip you have for getting through the holidays when you're feeling blue? May the blessings of this season find you wherever you are in your story. And thank you for joining us today. Go in peace.